Inferno. I'd say pretty convincingly too, but maybe that boost could be a bit overrated considering how this round started. Bomb dropped in the ramp room with trades required, and yepz keeps it in CT hands. That's a really good 2 for 2, because now 9Z, they're going to have to come rocking right back into the belly of the beast. Leo, though, he'd be lucky to get away alive, I feel, and the dualies on 1 HP get the job done. They flanked all the way around through heaven, but funny enough, Case have forfeited up the map control. They say, you know what, you can have it.
They will donate that bomb control back into the favor of the TS side, but they are holding on to a slight man advantage. Leo does have that kit as well. So, not the end of the world for Case giving over that bomb, but it could make for an interesting pose plan if they're able to get those numbers punched in. They're going to double back in towards the lower side here, and QZ has some rotations cut off and has the site secured. But still, they have to close out in the post plant here, and that's not an easy task.
Might not be easy, but I also don't know if I'm a big fan of how Case are playing this, right? Again, it just kind of feels like they're gambling and playing a retake. Maybe I'll be proven wrong, but we're about to see. You've still got Leo on a very scary margin of health to try to work with. No fractions for error whatsoever. They've even got a crossfire here set up, and QZ makes some noise, breaks the anonymity as they both come popping out through the doors. They both show face, and yep, shuts them down. Case Esports win the retake in what I'd argue is clean fashion.
Yeah, yep, the first one to get a multi-kill in that round right there, and it's to win it as well. Yep's gonna go and get a kit. I do like that they picked that one up. Some small details right there, but important ones. For 400 bones. 9Z, I feel like they did have a pretty proper chance at closing that one out right there. And in the 3-on-2, like you said, I feel like Case gave them a world to work with right there, and I just think they didn't quite close out the way that they could have, and I guess to 9Z's credit, they didn't realize how much space was really given to them either.
Yeah, that was just really well played around the board by Case. But I want to see what they're going to do here on the response. It looks like they want to take some outside control, but I think they kind of cocked it back at the last second. Steele, where is he gone? He's pushed all the way up to the red bin, and he's just doubled down, instantly shutting down 2 of these Galils, spotting the bomb and the remainder of the entire 9Z force. And look at who's hot on their heels. It's Honda, the top fragger of map 1 for Case, to try to chip in early here with the FAMAS, and he spots nothing around the red bin. Good info to get, but what can they do with it?
Do have a lot of space here towards that A side. Thank you very much, Yepz. Gonna get dropped here, in Honda turned on as well. Max is on an absolute tear right now. He's doing so much work for them. 2 kills in. Still, though, some complications could arise here. Player making some noise. Oh, and in the meantime, he's gonna slip right on by. This is incredibly unfortunate for Leo DRK, whose days are numbered here. He's not gonna be able to turn in time. Rox slips a perfect gap, and RCF gonna be holding on to that A1S, I'd imagine, here, and has no business trying this round unless they give him a pick.
I don't think that's going to happen, especially with how Rox is playing, you see. I mean, it seems like he knows somebody's potentially in heaven, but unless he finds this frag, there is no way back into this round. They give him the chance at finding it, and roxstar will actually let him have it. Now, hold on, because while it might not be a kit and a lot of utility, there is a world where he pulls this... No, never mind. No. Knife out, he's caught. DGT. Yeah, it's a really good flank coming through, and 9Z tied up off it, but they start that round with 2 kills. Like, they start it with a 5-on-3, and somehow it goes that one-sided past that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I did think at the initial stage right there, Case were looking strong, especially with that flank from Honda. I mean, you talked about it as a thing to keep an eye out for, and Max, who is the tide turner of that round right there, closing out a big multi-kill, finding that gap on the A side, and then having the presence of mind to look behind him towards Secret. Extremely valuable play, extremely valuable player so far for 9Z here.
Yeah, well, the force comes back out as they really want to hold on to this advantage they were given off the rip, but I think that becomes less and less likely as time moves forward. There's no utility to stop them. They're hoping that the weapons are going to be enough. And where is RCF with the scout? I think he's had to let them all pass outside. Oh, wait. This is going to be such a big pick. Oh, no, he misses the shot. Now he might be stuck.
Or are they stuck in RCF's crosshairs? That's always the case with this guy, man. He is so deadly, especially with that scout. He can land some headshots here. In the meantime, though, everyone's just going to shake hands and fall off. I don't think they really realize how deep they are towards Secret, though, and I think that's going to pretty much seal the fate of this round. No one's on that B bomb site to help out once those doors get swung open. 9Z just going to claim control. Maybe a 5v5, no one going down. Flawless round.
I can see it.
Dang.
I mean, I don't think teams do this enough, right? Like, there's no way you're going to end up walking back into the B site, funneling in through ramp, and winning the round. So you just try to hold on to these pistols and essentially run back to force buy on the full eco you're going to take in the next round.
Yeah, nice pickup right there from Honda. Grabbing that scout. Can he make it out?
Oh,
God, this guy with the deagle, man. Why do they keep peeking into them? He's just doing so much work. Another one? Oh, dude. Oh, it is so sick. They need to get these
guns. Yepz and Steel need to get these guns. What are they doing?
Biggest of deals. I feel like they already had control of it. As long as Honda grabs himself that Galil, it'll be safe and sound.
For free.
That's true.
That would have been so huge. Imagine, again, you have to go walking into the scout of RCF outside. And then the Galil of Honda, who are both warmed up already. That's not something you want to do.
If I'm Honda here, I'm dropping that Galil to one of my teammates and getting back on that deagle, if anything. Good
Honestly,
lord.
Viable strat.
Toss that one to yepz here. You keep up with the deagle. You haven't been doing too much missing, dude. This guy is so insanely deadly right now. A scary prospect for 9Z to deal with, for sure. But they're still in good standing here. RCF trying to get away with a cheeky one right there, but Max is already well positioned.
Yeah, it's just about damage mitigation at this point, I feel. Maybe Honda can try to scrape something up with this Galil. He's on the right part of the map to try to do it, right? When you have outside control like this, usually you're going to send a couple of reinforcements down secret to see what you can or can't get done, but even Honda, as good as he is, I think that might be a bit too hard for him to try to cash in on. Yeah, 3-on-5 and only really a deagle and a CZ left.
Much to work with at the end of the day. Okay, I don't think he's been spotted, actually. Thought maybe David could have seen him. Tricky angles here for both camps. David just gonna say, I want nothing to do with this fight here. Take a different approach, and in the meantime, 9Z gonna lock in another round.
This is gonna be a free gun. David's a dead man walking. Yeah, I actually really like that from Leo. I don't think you're gonna be able to hold on to it. You got 4 people trying to take that out of your hands. I do not think you are going to be alive for very much longer.
Just have armor. If you can find a couple kills on his way out, that'll be valuable enough. At least one towards the tail end of the round there. But 9Z starting things off very strong on the T side here so far. And winning that another eco, man. I guess it was more so a force buy than anything. But they really don't shy away from forcing up. They can really make the damage done, and it's definitely giving them access to lifelines in some of these rounds that, you know, maybe they have any business gathering here. But another round where RCF isn't going to be wielding that AWP could be a concern towards that outer yard. It's going to be Steel that's going to be taking the helm early on in defense.
This half is kind of already spiraling out of control. With all the space that's consistently being given up to 9Z, they found outside control for free again. And beyond that, another opening pick. There is no trade potential here. Already a 4-on-5 as the dagger gets twisted in even deeper. Finally, RCF delivers some good news, but K still have a bit more ground to recover.
Yeah, I think for now, they really need to find a solution to this outer yard secret control that they're constantly giving up. You gotta have some rotations here because 9Z gathering such crucial map control in the early stages of rounds just can't keep happening here. I love this play from Leo DRK though, making sure to take some space right back. RCF taking a long range approach here, but does he realize one's close by? Not in time. 2 kills for RCF to keep things in equal standing. Ooh. But again, it's all about giving that map control up here. But like you said, there's going to be a little bit of a flank coming soon.
Honestly, I feel like Honda should just commit to the lower side hold. Yeah, he doesn't have to worry about this flank coming through yet. He's got Leo hot on the heels all the way around outside, and he's pretty much just solidified what's happening. As soon as he gets that deep sight line towards hell, he will pretty much have all the info in the book, but he doesn't decide to go down secret. No. Or does he? This is some weird movement if you're going to, my friend. Oh, I thought so. He's definitely going back into... Bro, pick a path!
I think he had to clear out heaven first because that's one concern there. Well timed on the peak from Honda. Oh, but he nearly got tagged. He nearly got taken down by the molly. And now Leo Leo DRK, he's going to continue to flank here, but misses his opportunity on the kill. Look at the HP bars left, but look at the time as well. Very low. The HG's going to collect a kill. Honda tries to be the hero, but covered by DGT and 9Z. Close out the round right there with moments to spare.
I actually think Leo has somewhat of a part to play in that loss. Like, he chooses such a weird path to go around outside. Like, think of it this way. If he just goes straight over towards Secret, goes down, clears all the basic stuff on the way, that's saving, like, 5, 6, 7 seconds where he's going to get there before they can even crack out of the double doors. They can get further into the site, play around one another better. But he's wasted so much time with that needless pathing.
Yeah, I think what the concern was there was they didn't have any sort of map control, right? You had no space to be creative towards that outer yard, so they could have been coming through heaven. They could have been coming through so many different directions, and that's just kind of the consistent issue for KC Esports is this donation of control towards the outer yard. The fact that they're giving this up for free every single round is very, very rough, and they have to find a response. They have to find a solution to that soon. Otherwise, they're going to be staring down a T-half that they can't come back in. And this is the map pick of 9Z, so you do expect them to come in abusing the struggles here for KC Esports, but I don't know. It could be a little bit desperate if they can't start filling in those holes.
I mean, at the same time, too, we also got to give the credit that the fact that Case just haven't had that great of a buy yet. They haven't had an AWP this game. They haven't had that much utility in most of these rounds, so dealing with outer yard aggression is going to be difficult, like, as it stands, but without any of the resources to do so, it's next to impossible. I feel like, though, the responses could be better, whether it's playing somebody inside of Mini, having somebody in Hell just jiggling, maybe Heaven. I feel like there's a lot of ways they could be going about it that they aren't. Like, giving up Secret is one thing, but giving up all of outside consistently is just a level of its own.
Yeah, and it does seem like it's a tall task for Steel to deal with as well. I think for the most part on Nuke, I mean, you can kind of almost to afford to concede that ground, but you have to have someone ready on the stairs towards Secret side, towards the double doors, or towards single door. Any of these positions are all positions that you can, you know, rely on if you're going to donate that control for free, but they just haven't really had those rotations in time, and I don't know when that's going to come. Maybe as a result of this timeout, because they have to know where the flaws are in this defense, and they have to start bouncing back here.
I think that's why this timeout's getting called, right? Because they probably understand this big issue that we've already identified. Like, what do we do? How do we contain this? First of all, the AWP is in order. But now what's the play? What's the move we make? Because RCF just having the big green in his hands is not in its own an answer. Do they want to take some space? Do they want to try to take something else in exchange for it? We're about to find out.
Yeah, well, we'll get to see early on what they choose as their adjustment. Whether that be filling in the holes here. Definitely a different approach towards the Saudi yard. RCF, like you said, with the AWP here, first time that we're seeing that come out for him. Nade stack?
Oh my lord!
Did they just nade stack?
They did it.
Oh,
they
man.
did it. The Basinich top silo nade stack. You'll love to see it, and with it comes a completely open A site. That's a tough cookie to try to bite down on if you're Case, and you've just got to accept it.
Oh, I totally cheat tours that. Missed it, but you could hear the rain of terror from everywhere in the server right there. Numbers getting punched in. And I love this from 9Z, man. Pulling that round off of the back of a timeout as well. Think about the impact that that's going to have here. That's the first time that they've started to throw a wrench in the system here, but hold that thought. RCF has plucked one out of the server here, rescoping in as well towards the squeaky side of things. These are really good positions for the duo of 9Z, but now it's up to Steel to make the next move.
Like, so long as Steel cares about what's going on in Hut, like, this round should be done. Yeah, now he's got to play a war on two fronts. RCF has walked in from the flank with an AWP of all weapons and won Case the round single-handedly. 9Z threw everything at them, including the kitchen sink, and still could not take that round. That is a great response from Case.
That's an RCF special right there, man. That's what you can deliver once he gets the AWP in his hands right there. Maybe that's the solution to all cases. Strife right there, because what? A recovery. How does he even clear that angle and squeaky? I mean, maybe it's off the back of some information from Steel, right? He's clearing out all of that site. He's calling it clear. There obviously has to be, a couple positions where these two remaining T's can be hot and squeaky, and that's just excellent communication between the duo right there. Some experience showing from those two players, that's for sure.
That was crazy, man. It's not something you can consistently rely on, but if you're KC Esports, it's something you needed. You needed some reason to get back into this game mentally and think, we can do this. And now they're granted another chance off of one man's heroism. What can they get done with it? A lot of utility used up outside, and you can really see Case are trying to adapt and change around what they give up.
Again, though, they have made it down secret, and again, Steel gonna drop out towards that outer yard here. The smoke start to fade away. Max is deep stuck in towards the bomb site, and oh man, NQZ, a double opener here. Feeling some pain. Back to the classics for 9Z, holding off this outer yard, just taking that ground by storm. roxstar gonna help out as well, Rox rather. And now we got ourselves into a 2-on-5. I just don't know if they could actually pull this one back. They got a 2-on-4 in the previous. This seems like a little bit too much to ask.
When you've got Honda alive, man, anything can happen. It all just depends on who they do or don't test. That bomb slowly moving up the vents, too. If yepz shuts this down, if he catches the better of the two timings, then, I don't know, maybe, just maybe, he can try to isolate and annihilate these players. But as they slowly encompass the server and creep further and further forward in the map, you begin to question, where are they going to go? What can he really do? Well, he gets the first at the back of the silo, and he's pretty insistent that somebody's coming through from heaven. That Molotov's going to do nothing but delay and distract. And if he was able to shut down that planner there, then all of a sudden this round gets thrown into contention. But Honda being at the wrong side of the map solidifies that this is going to be a 9Z round. But there's one thing that really bugs me about this round. Steel dying outside. He has done that exact same pick 3 times now, and it's never worked.
Yeah, he's really trying to utilize that credit card position and to no success, right? Again, I think at this point you just have to stick a player early on towards that stairs position. It's what a lot of teams do. A lot of teams are willing to concede out of yard control, especially with the amount of resources. I mean, you talked about it early on. 9Z threw so much utility to cross in the outer yard. They had to throw an extra smoke because of a molly thrown out from KC Esports that threw a wrench in their system. And again, if they're going to invest that utility, you have to concede that. You have to give them that space. And then maybe you stick a player down in towards secret to try and buy time. But that hasn't come through yet. That adaptation hasn't been found out just yet from Case. And it feels like it's becoming a little bit too late for them to really adapt to that.
I mean, if they can start to clean up this half, maybe the T side comes alive. Who really knows? It was the T side that showed up for them on Inferno, so maybe it's a team thing. Maybe they're just better in the offensive front, but so far it is just not good whatsoever. 9Z have had control of this game since the second round.
I've been thrown out towards secret, and yeah, I agree. It's not out of the realms of possibility at all for Case. It's just difficult right now with the comfort that 9Z's building. Very similar to what we gathered on Inferno, but even more so. The Deagles do reign in these rounds, though. Always scary. Not another one. Okay, NQZ to trade. But I just have to see some sort of change here. Some sort of dealing with it. Honda has a chance with his Deagle. I think they're scared to peek into that now that they found that kill as well, even more so. No reason to do so. And they're still giving him chances. NQZ. Okay. Good lord, why are they testing him?
We saw the same world.
Why are they testing him?
You and I saw the same damn thing. We were
His
waiting
was
for
on
that to
1
connect.
HP.
I don't know, man.
Oh
Like, we
my
saw them
God.
doing a lot of this on Inferno, if we think about it, right? Where they just go for these really questionable overpeaks, just thinking that they'd already had the kill, essentially. But that's kind of amplified now by the fact that it's somewhat working. You know, you're up 7-2. It's working. Like, that's a good classification for it.
Really is. A great round. Here's a much different approach. Honda diving through smokes. He did find that second kill just in time. Rox is going to trade, but at the very least, it's a much different approach towards that outer yard hold. This time, instead of Steel going forward, it's Honda. That's going to take a lot of space towards that outer yard, find a double opener, but we've seen rounds like this go wrong before, right?
Yeah, they literally cannot let another round slip when they're in front, especially how they are now. I love this boost, too, coming through from RCF. Leave it to Steel, allow the 1-for-1 trade at most, and then just go ahead and help your teammates on the other side of the map. This is perfect. to a T counter-strike as 9Z get ready to execute into the A site. Plenty of utility, though, so Leo gonna have to burn up this smoke, but he is still just gonna sit here and wait for the push to come through. As much damage as you'd like to do, it doesn't seem like they're able to put in the final blow. He's gonna drop his Molotov, though, before all is said and done. Misses the mark, but at least he gets it out. They're still trying to spam him down, and they have got a perfect supporting cast to try to get him out of there. Flashbang very well placed. And with that kill in mind, they try to isolate the player at the back of the silo. Yepz can't get it done, and now it's another retake for Case.
Oh man, RCF at the very least gonna step up here once again. Late in the rounds, he has been a force to be reckoned with. Molly towards the back of sight, and now they start to collapse in. RCF getting on top of HUD. I love this reposition. In the meantime, though, Steele's been dropped, and RCF with it all required on his shoulders here. And can he get the job done? David's gonna be the information finder. He does gather that calls. They're on top of HUD. RCF's baited out the drop, but Rox has no need to peek until he hears that bomb being tapped, and there he goes.
Oh, he's done. Yep. Show him where the rabbits are, buddy. He has no chance of fighting back in that. RCF, he keeps doing his absolute best to try to bring these rounds back, but it just feels like it's a one-man show. I mean, we look besides RCF and Honda, and, I mean, this game, let alone this whole series, has just been them. I mean, there's not really been anybody else consistently doing anything. You've got Steele haphazardly taking a pick every now and then outside. Leo hasn't really been doing much. Yep, he's had his moments, but at the end of the day, Case need more individually.
Yeah, I think that 9Z are just getting away with a lot of, you know, free rounds right there. Again, that one I feel like had to go in their pockets. They had a double opener. 4-on-3 advantage. You'd expect that to work their way.
Why?
Which is just don't work out. David playing dodge flash. It's just an easy conversion right there into RCF. At least they're trying to change up their approach. But trying to take a 1-on-4 towards the outer yard, it's still less than ideal. Opening pick again for 9Z.
Nade's gonna bounce in. They all try to fight a war on too many fronts, and 9Z come away the victors in very clear margins. 2-on-5. And it's Honda and Steele to pull this one back. Bomb given, lower site control taken, and just kind of feels like another round 9Z have gotten already, though. Maybe not if Steele can say something about it. It should just be Steele, as Honda's gonna get caught with his head turned. But it's this FAMAS against the world. Digits being punched in and lower, and he's got players encompassing around him in every single direction. He'll be able to pull one back, but that's all she wrote, man. Max hot on the heels, gets the 9th. 9Z with a 7-round lead on the T side of Nuke.
Yeah, it just doesn't look like they are comfortable on this map at all, Case. It doesn't look like they've been, you know, practiced on this. At least, you know, again, I feel like the issues towards that outer yard have been there all throughout. They're trying to find some adaptations, but what they're doing is, for the most part, walking into these collapses. I mean, early on, you can see them try and test the waters with solo plays, right? RCF battles out for an early pick, but it doesn't work. And then after they flounder in the early stages of rounds, they try and recover, but then 9Z are ready for it. They're ready for the re-aggression every step of the way. So the rounds spiral out of control once that opening pick comes through, and all that 9Z now know that they have to do is wait things out. It's very well read, and I think that's been the case all throughout for 9Z, but still, it's looking rock solid for them to close.
And even if you think of the beginning of that round, right, where RCF is tucked away in secret, we were hoping for that. We were waiting for that to come through. But that peek off of the flash is so choreographed. I mean, you've got the wall of smokes up. There's only one avenue they can possibly fight you at. And in a situation like that, you want to distract them. You want to throw some bullets, some nades, some mollies or whatnot behind those smokes. Draw some attention away so when that flash comes through, maybe they're second guessing where the peek's going to be delivered. But as it stood, they were silent. They did nothing. All of a sudden, you wonder what's going to happen? It's quite obvious.
They're going to trade things back. They collapse in unison here towards lobby. At the very least. But still a 3-on-3 in QC.
Smart.
Yeah, all the money in the world here to reinvest. But either way, are they ready for this out-of-yard aggression? I don't know. You gotta keep an eye out here for RCF, who's pulling off a bit of a flank. He could be the tide turner in this round, especially with the players both stacked over on this A side. This could be huge, but oh, NQZ's Not covering it. AK retrieved as well. RCF is going to do it again.
You know he wants it. He saw two players there. He's going to line them both up with the AK-47. He single-handedly shut down this A hit, knowing the last player comes through from Hut. They've got nothing but weapons and advantages to close this round out. Sure, the score is not that great for Case, but they are making at least a case for themselves to close out a couple more rounds, and this half off on a high note. DGT has no interest in trying to pull this round back. The M4 is all he'll take as Case steal an eco round away. In Case fashion, they did it a lot on map 1. That's how they get things back and going on map 2.
All right. Able to make the ecos work right there in the 3v3. Again, it's RCF, though. The hero of the round, right? His impact cannot be understated here, and unfortunately, towards the end, he won't grab himself a gun. His teammates, though, lucky, held on to those AKs here, and he has plenty of money to buy up into an AWP, which is exactly what he's going to do. 9Z giving over a lifeline here for Case, but still, I mean, the best case scenario is 6 rounds, and that's not too ideal.
You'll take whatever you can get at this point, though. I mean, you've got nothing else but to just take it on the chin and move forward. So, I'll say, right, I'll try to be a bit of a believer. They pick up the pistol, they end this half with 6 rounds. Maybe there's a world. Who knows how good this T-side's going to be. That's also a pretty cool smoke. It blocks off the top up molly and everything, but still doesn't seem like it's going to find them a path into winning this round. Yepz already closing out the opening duel, and with a lot of utility wasted up, 9Z's initial gambit is just thrown out the drain.
It's a nice start right there. Opening up proceedings there again. KC Sports, they've been in this position once or twice actually, but haven't converted now. So the 5v4 doesn't necessarily mean round win at all. They gotta make sure they're buckled down, and I do like the position that Steel currently lies in. Bottom of Secret here. He's gonna be met with some pressure. Oh, flashbang and HE to be thrown out here, and there you go. Steel able to strike exactly what's necessary. Keep that map control in your favor. Fall off after you find the extended advantage, and wait on that utility as well. With 45 left on the clock, 9Z, their chance is definitely limited now.
And I like this. Finally, Case don't decide to reaggress. They just hold their ground and wait for the response to be made. Less than 40 seconds, and 9Z have eaten away a lot of their own time. RCF still picking them apart piece by piece. And it seems like they are no closer to cracking the code open for this round. Maybe you can trade him out. I mean, you've got a player potentially stuck behind enemy lines. NQZ is all the way in this corner. And he's slowly going to start to approach him. How good's your shotgun op, RCF? Because we're about to find out. Shadow advantage given, and the leg spotted, but it's just not enough. RCF already doubling it up, and there is no chance at redemption here.
Shotgun op's pretty good apparently right there. No scope to keep himself alive. And Max QZ gonna hold on to his AK here. Like you said, you might as well continue to fight if you're Case, even though it's a scary scoreline. For 9Z, if you could walk away with a little momentum in your favor, you get a pistol round and you can show a convincing T side, then all will be forgiven pretty quickly for them.
Again, I mean, we gotta remember, their T side on Inferno was pretty good. It was what? 9-6, 10-5? Like, it was pretty damn decent.
Yeah, really is. Got a bit of a bounce back here. He's mollied out. He's gonna start getting spammed as well. This is scary stuff, but again, that shotgun up. It's good for the opener. Can he adjust towards the top? That was the question. RCF making his way out, and Steel now making his way in. They trade places.
Huge. He's somehow able to get out alive, too. They know he went back in towards Mini, but do they know that Steel is still over here? DGT! You didn't have to do him like that, man. Oh, an equalizer of unspeakable proportions, and with it, RCF tumbles down at the lower site. 9Z, sure they lost the opener, but the response is far greater than you could have ever imagined. And it gets even worse. I mean, you said it earlier, you broke it down to a formula. When they're in this disadvantage, they just over-aggress piece by piece. They give them peak by peak, and it never works.
Started out so well. That spam through the smoke, it triggers all sorts of re-aggression. DGT setting off a chain of reactions that causes them to completely collapse. Now 9Z gonna score double digits and on to and you might as well maybe send your Self in for this. I guess you could drop a gun in the next. You can hold on to that. You can drop it up to RCF in the next round. But oh boy, Case. It's just a classic here on Nuke, isn't it?
Man, like, I thought it was gone. I thought that Case that was just throwing countless reaggressions in the mix was done. I thought we were finally seeing something different after we converted those rounds, but they get an opening pick. Sure, you forfeit up outside control and you get your opera out of there, but, like, you got so much going for you. Everybody starts swinging. It's just too much going on. Like what I said the other day, man. Too many cooks. It spoils the broth. That is exactly what we just saw. You had somebody pushing up outside, pushing down lower, pushing hot, pushing ramp. Every place you looked, somebody from Case was doing something aggressive.
Yeah, it was insane as well with how ready 9Z was for that. I think that they have them read to a T just the same as we can see with the X-ray, right? Where you find a trade back, and then all that 9Z know they need to do at this point is patiently wait for someone to try and make a play, someone to try and bring things back, because the way they set themselves up was perfectly placed, defaulting to deal with that reaggression coming through from NC. Honda's been doing this pretty consistently. Smoke's a bit flubbed,
We
though.
lined him up! That was insane! RCF just collided them in lobby, but the trades back are again so far better. 9Z, this time they don't even wait for the response. They're just ready for it. Off rip, Case make a push. And it falls to 3-on-3. They're split up across the map.
Regression
It's
continuing.
happening again.
Oh no. Gotta be careful with this. At the very least, though, Honda's gonna land some headshots. Doing what he does best. He continues his endeavors after dropping the bomb. He finds another extra on to Max as well, who's dead to rights right there. They do close it off with 5. At the end of the day, they have a little extra to work with here, but you can see in the scoreline there, the string of rounds, 9Z has their number here on Nuke, and they need to bring that energy into a CT side. It's a welcome map 2 for them.
Yeah, we are going to have to see a magnificent T side here for Case. And it all starts with the pistol, right? I feel like if 9Z closed this one down right here, probably already start to give a friendly hello to Mirage to see if that's where 9Z or other Case bring it back. But we do still have an entire second half to go from a strong T side. Let's see what this one plays down to.
Yeah, that is one thing that they have, and maybe, with rotations not being as much of a factor, they can try and close out there, but RCF dropped early, tried to commit towards that fight. He was a raid boss in this round as well. He had the P250. Now he's dropped, and now they have to deal with one prong of approach here towards the B side, just towards ramp.
I mean, at least they've been given full site control, but now they need to take some extra space with it. This is where things could go horrifically wrong. There's 2 CTs set up on a crossfire, and they all get shut down, barreling forward. DGT and Max are the dynamic duo to close down a pistol. Case Esports, they stay in this hole, and they can't get out.
Yeah. Absolutely stunning stuff right there. I thought that collapse from double door and control was going to be very solid from Case, because you mentioned that they have to grab a little bit of extra space there. Sure, you can grab that site control, but you need something extra to go off of. You can't just work with the bomb site and ramp. That's going to very quickly get collapsed upon. They open up those double doors, they swing from control, but they walk right into the hands of 9Z.
Well, I like the full save here.
What?
Okay, all right. Apparently, my guy put the upgrades on the clock. My guy put the upgrades on there. Honda, what are you doing? Somehow this is 3-on-2. The A site's ripped wide open with a couple of guns recovered too. They try to go back into lobby, and Leo's gonna get caught with his back turned, but the bomb's just gone down, and there's an MP9 to play with here. Yepz, what can you do? They're both gonna have to come through on a transition. One player's footsteps are heard at
There's no
ramp,
head
and this all comes down to a timing. No way, RCF! He puts it 1-on-2. DGT footsteps heard. Yepz has the angle, and they've won a full Glock Eco Case. That's how they get this T side rolling.
Dude, they have no business. Honda, what is that? Opening pick from the top of Marshmallow to open things up, and then the clock burst to follow suit. It is unbelievable. I cannot believe my eyes right there. KC Sports, you don't get that almost ever. So the fact that they close it out, it has to be a resurgence. It has to be a bounce back from them. Surely.
Yeah, you can't lose this game now, bro. Case, I'm gonna be real with you. You gotta take this game now.
A full
Imagine they
Glock
lose this
eco.
round.
Those 5 Glocks.
Dude, I swear. He put the upgrades on his. That was no normal Glock.
The second
My guy
burst
was
that he got
shooting
was
50 cal bullets out of there, bro.
unreasonable. The amount of non-Kevlar players was unreasonable. There was no plant in there in the pistol round, so I don't know if they thought that was. I mean, I guess clearly they thought that was going to be easy, but still, if you take a battle with a Glock from any range without head Kevlar and they land the headshot, man, it does feel like death soon to follow. But either way, they look to bounce back here. It's a 1-for-1 trade here with a lot of control mustered up from DGT. The splitting through heaven is going to be lethal.
It all depends, right? If this Deagle's able to get one, maybe split them apart. Actually, no, never mind. That kill's already going to have NQC's head on a swivel, or at least hypothetically.
Oh, God.
No way! They're already doing it back to him. RCF,
No.
what can you do? It's nothing. yepz alone. 1v2 with his head on a swivel in lobby. 7 health, the great differentiator. DGT's going to come walking into the angle, and yepz holds on. Case still so close, but stay in front.
Dude. What are these ecos, man? 7 HP to save the day right there. It's so unreasonable. But KC Sports holding on by a thread. We'll take it any day of the week, no matter how close it was, because now they get to breathe a sigh of relief. Only dealing with USPs, much less deadly coming through from 9Z. But I say that. Mag 7 purged up from David. Love this. We'll see if he can do some damage with it. Surely they have no business winning that round.
And surely this Mag 7 isn't going to do anything. We all know Noah's very vastly superior.
Oh, I'm keeping my eyes on him. Come on,
What?
David.
Bore the chat. You're gonna spectate David for a minute and a half just for him to get like.
He's
double
gonna
tap,
save.
like, 2 tap.
He's gonna save the Mag 7. All of his teammates have rotated. Bob's planted on B, and he's just sitting top hut, chilling. He's like, you guys got this. I'm not about that. Come on now.
No. Yeah, man. What a god's gift that gun is, huh? That's not on the gun. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm just messing with you. But okay, this one's a lot more convincing. NQZ has somehow stolen one away with the USP, but a lot better than the last round, I'll tell you.
Yeah, this one is. It seems like we go back to reality after long last. Oh
I'm
boy,
still up in La La Land, bro.
Yeah. So bizarre, man. It's good to be back on grounded land here. I mean, we've settled down just a little bit off of some insane ecos, some close rounds. Finally, we get just a pure farm of the USPs and into the first gun round here. A lot of A4s purchased up, interesting from 9Z. On this map, I feel like a lot of teams have themselves a couple A4 players here on Nuke.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not too sure. Maybe it's the added benefit of like sound being harder to pick, whether it's on A or B. Like, I'm really not sure. But it also could just be preference of these players. We saw the other day a couple of them used A4. I'm more interested in the fact that there's no op in this round. Like, yeah, I guess you just really couldn't afford it, bottom line, but it's still going to cost you, or at least it should. But so far, that has not turned out to be the case. Lots of damage dealt, and 9Z have taken not even a scratch.
Here's what 9Z have come out of the gates with on their gun rounds doing really well, is gathering or conceding that out of yard control, but stacking up that lower bomb site quite nicely. I mean, you can see Max with utility. This is exactly how things need to be played, and it's exactly what we didn't get out of Case here. It was where they definitely struggled. Although I will say, elsewhere on the map, they do take some good space, so KC Sports still have a fight left in them for this round.
Certainly, right? Especially with Leo in his position right now. If NQC falls, then this advantage completely goes out the window. Because as you said, they stacked up lower. That's where the brunt of the attack was. But now you've got to deal with David and Co. in the middle of the A site. yepz and RCF do it easily, though. DGT wondering, where have my teammates gone? As he comes around from a heaven flank. yepz, it seems like he's weary of this being a possibility. So DGT's going to take the long way around. Got a lot of places to look and not a lot of time to do it. But does he bother going for it? I don't think so. He doesn't have a kit. So yeah, this is a 9th.
Great recovery. Great reposition there from Case, I gotta say. Oh, no. He's not able to get out of dodge either, so not hold on to that rifle. But I really love that reposition from Case. They show some presence towards that outer yard. They fall off as well very quickly. They take that ramp space after showing that ground in. I mean, incredible stuff overall coming through from Case Esports. Again, just punching back here on this T side, making it scary. Very quickly getting back into this game. And I didn't think that they would really show that much life here on the T side. But the way that they're working around the map is exactly what the doctor ordered.
They're right back to these pistols, man. Like, Case Esports have just brought this to the... what I'd say is the peak of the game so far, right? We're very close to tying it. And they're right knocking on the door for it. But I don't know, man. With how this game has gone, I don't think I can 100% say Case are going to take this round.
That's a great point right there. I'm jumping the gun a little bit. I'm saying, yeah, Case, they're going to be one off to die after this. It's going to be an easy round. But, man, I just don't know how I'm still in that mindset given the history of these two teams on the last couple maps here.
I mean, I was doing the same damn thing. I was sitting here like, yeah, this should be around, and I was like, I don't think so. But maybe so. I mean, they've got the right read. They're going down secret, but the response isn't all that fragile. 50 seconds to go, and a smoke's going to be used up on this exact play. So they're going to have to wait this one out and walk into the CZ. It goes 1 for 1 in the trades. Sure, still very much so in the advantage of Case, but with every player that falls, my nerves go up and up.
They've gambled some heavy presence here towards the lower bomb site, but if this is where Case Esports want to commit, they're going to have to break through this crossfire of David and Rox. Not going to be fun, but actually they fall back towards site with 25 seconds left. I love this reposition. They don't need to stand deep in towards the site. They can get themselves tucked in and try and deny that bomb plant. David finding that opening kill there, does get traded out, but he still has Rox to buy time. Stepping up here with a kill of his own. Rox going to find some frags in the feed. Yepz is going to clear out that A-bomb site, but they're going to cut off rotations. Bomb and Vince, and there you go. There you have it. 9Z, man. An ego out of the hat there once again for them.
What is this game? I mean, to be honest, Case didn't really deserve to win that round. If we're thinking about it, I mean, past that 4-on-4, like when it's traded back out, it just looked like the Case of old, where everybody's got their own game plan, everybody's trying to do their own thing. Like you had, I believe it was RCF, no, RCF, not him. It was, I think, Leo, who went around single door, completely solo. Wasn't able to kill it, or rather, wasn't able to find that frag, ended up falling. Same goes for Steel around double. Nobody was doubled up, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You had yepz on A, RCF wondering which direction to go. Like, Case are just so disorganized in some of these rounds.
Yeah, I mean, they split themselves up perfectly for 9Z to capitalize off that. And again, that clock going down to 20 seconds left and the fall off from 9Z. All of these are really good late round plays. Throw out there out of nowhere. 9Z getting quickly back into this one, and we don't get one off the tie. 9Z looking to extend their advantage here. Out of yard smokes, at least one of them thrown out here. The second one thrown out soon after. Noah jumping over the spam there.
Oh, this
Steel
is
able to
so
bypasses him.
Oh, I love this,
Oh, you're
dude.
right.
They just made him waste his whole mag so they can try to take the kill in mini. That was genius, but it doesn't work because Rockstar is better.
Ooh. How is he still alive? 16 HP. They think he's fallen off. And the re-aggression towards lobby. RCF hyper-focused on Heaven. His teammate who spammed this entire clip through. They're going to give him a taste of their own medicine and still going to activate here through Heaven. Just a tad bit too late.
I mean, there's a couple of players low, but with this last thrown in, the anonymity is gone. Steel with the opening pick tries to cement himself a chance in this 1 versus 4. Everybody now swarming the A site like ants on an anthill as the timer continues to dwindle away. He's hoping, praying that they give him something, a rotation up through secret, anything, but realizing the time is gone, he's just going to give it up. 13 rounds for 9Z, and I feel like they're only one big mistake away from closing out this map.
They just feel that way here. If they can keep this up, if 9Z can continue this defensive setup here, they'll be very quickly on towards a third map. I do feel like we were going to get this at the end of the day. I think that 9Z have given themselves so much wiggle room here with the 5-10 scoreline in the first half that Case Esports, they might have dug themselves a little bit too deep of a hole to really make a case for this one. So.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, I can imagine maybe that half is even 9-6 in the other favor, right? Like, anything closer, and that Glock round probably means so much more. But they just kind of get screwed over. Like, the lead is too big, and I'm with you. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah, a bit unlucky given their very solid work being done here on the T side. But we'll see if after this break in the action, they can continue. I think this one's a tech on Case's camp.
Yeah, that's probably a desk slammer right there. I mean, it was so smart. It was so smart. It was being set up so well. They baited him into wasting his whole mag, and they caught him reloading. But the trade on Rox was just non-existent. Even if he goes 2 for 1, right? If he gets traded back out, now all of a sudden your player in hot doesn't have to worry about spamming him down in Tetris. You don't have to play the gambling game of is he still or is he not there. And you go into the A site, 3-on-3 in totality. Everybody split apart. That's probably a recipe for a case win round. But they just don't trade out Rox. They let him stay alive. He plays his life to perfection, and they get cut apart trying to take care of him.
Yeah, I mean, it's very easily cut apart. Rox getting that multi-kill saved the day in a big way there. Cut off that many prong of approach. Allowed for that SA players to buckle down here. But now, Case, they need to play near flawless to get back. Can't afford a round to give up right now, otherwise be staring down the barrel of map point. Third map looming ahead of them. Only being thrown out here from Rox. Trying some smoke spam. Not quite. I thought he was going to maybe try off that spam through the smoke, but in the meantime, it seems like Case are trying to slip on down through the vents here, or at least pull in a late attack towards the A side. Flash is rolling off, but Rox is playing it so well. His teammate goes down, but Rox needs a multi-kill. He's going to burn into the molly eventually, but there's still one more standing on the site.
That's NQZ, man. If there's anybody that you'd be worried about, it's him. Now falling down, he's pretty committed into the upper site, so maybe you try to play around with the map a little bit more. See what you can or can't maneuver with. There's bound to be gaps because there's only 3 left, so where is that gap? Where can we exploit it? Well, let's try outside.
X is taking a pretty forward committed angle as well, right? So with the numbers that they have, 3 walking in as a unit, it's going to be hard for him to multi-kill here. We'll see if he's prepped for it.
I guess 1 for 1 isn't that bad, right? But I still honestly negate the impact of that 10 HP player in RCF, because if he's going against NQZ, that's not going to matter one bit, right? So this technically could still just be a full-on 2-on-2, but NQZ does not seem too easy to give up this angle. Yeah, pops off the shot, backs into the site, waits for Honda to come walking in. And this round already feels like it's curtains. Maybe not if you jump there, still dancing around Tetris. And he's now done. All up to DGT to ensure Case have no chance left in this map. But with the bomb plant in, it gets ever so much more difficult. He's going to come around through the ramp room. Timing will be absolutely everything. Where is Honda looking? He's got a big guess to make.
It's figure out where exactly he's coming from here, and a lot of information gathered from the likes of Honda here as DGT tries to make his presence known from heaven. Has to step in soon though. Time's ticking here. He's going to drop out of heaven. A couple of flashbangs to throw out, but bomb's very far ticked. A little tap here. Honda's going to confirm that he's off of it here. Peeking out, made a footstep though. DGT's going to nail the headshot. As good as Honda is, he's not going to close this one out right there. DGT a step quicker.
I mean, he saw the defuse. He saw nobody was on it. Why did he still commit to the peak? That was a free round. That round was given to Case. Honda, that is a rookie mistake, I gotta say. I mean, I pointed out one earlier on Inferno. That's another one right there. Like, he very clearly did not think he was on it with the way he was moving and maneuvering. At that point, you might as well just jump, for starters. But number 2, he definitely swings out far enough to see that nobody's on that diffuser, but commits to the fight anyway. It's questionable. It was not a good move.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with you, right? Honda stepping out a little bit too far there. Bomb was very well planted for him, and so maybe just eager to try and close that round. take the pressure off his shoulders a little bit quicker right there, but instead it's more pressure applied here to Case, who feel like they are falling out here, at least on Nuke. Another timeout called. You can see them trying to fight, and one thing I've given Case credit for is their resilience in these games, right? When they're standing at a deficit, they know how to get back into these, but the CT side, you need to close out quite a few rounds here.
Yeah, this is going to be your last chance. You throw it all on the line right now. If you're not able to muster up a bomb plant at the very least, then we're already going to see Mirage coming through. And this was somewhat of a stronger performance from 9Z, right? I mean, you could call the Glock round a fluke if you'd like. I wouldn't even be all that upset with it. And if you do, this game probably looks more like 16-7. Very, very one-sided, even more so than the score really depicts. So I think bottom line is we're going to have to see more people wake up and a lot less mistakes on Mirage, right? We can't keep seeing these overextensions. We can't keep seeing people late to show up to the server. Like, I mean, we come into this half, and Leo had 3 frags. Sure, he's starting to pull his own weight now. Like, he's starting to do well, but it took him so long to start to get here.
Yeah, I think when we hop into this decider, and obviously Mirage should be a bit of an easier map for them to play. I think at the end of the day, we just need to see them land some of the adjustments a little bit earlier. I mean, specifically on their CT side, 9Z perfectly maneuvering the defense exactly into the palm of their hands there on their T side. So a lot of promise out of them here on Nuke, but that was always going to be the case. 1-for-1 trade side of the ramp room is maybe solid for Case. They can wait for some re-aggression all throughout the map, then they can really state themselves for a round, but they're going to move back in towards the safe side, and that could be cause for concern. All angles covered here from 9Z.
Well, apparently not. I mean, right now there's a bit of a gap to try and exploit from Honda, and he's going to take it. Out Hut Hill walk, and nobody is even staring at this, even getting caught with their guns not pulled out. 1-for-1 trades around the board as the op falls into the site, and NQZ is the last line of defense. Dancing around the silo. Is he going to be able to find the frag? He will. RCF drops, and with the bomb, no less. It's Steel to try to pull this back, knowing where at least NQZ is. He can make this 1v1 here very shortly. Gun barrel spotted and the kill taken. And now it's all up to the rotation coming through from the ramp room. Max around Hut. Footsteps heard. He's not going to commit to this peak just yet. Steel finally decides to punch in the digits, and he hears him running back out to try to take this fight. Max, is he going to find it? It's so tense. It's so close, but in the end, he holds on. And 9Z find themselves map point.
And what a round right there. Nice clutch from Max to finish off that 1v1, but NQZ finding a multi-kill in the back of Silo is such an overperformance from him. He should have been limited on 1 at the very best, and then Trade should have followed suit. Maybe that is Case just not spacing themselves correctly, but the fact that he's able to double down there and buy time for his teammates to get closer in that round is so phenomenal here. So, Case, they need to play flawless. 6 in a row, 6 chances for 9Z to take it to a third here and give themselves a further chance to try and get that qualification to the RMR here. I mean, I would love to see a repeat of what 9Z was able to do in the previous run, and making it to the major was such an accomplishment. If they could get that again in Brazil as well, in that Rio major, that would be so huge.
Oh. Yeah, you know the crowd is going to go nuts for them. Just things you love to see, right? And that's another reason I absolutely love watching this, because you know whoever goes through that underdog is going to have such a home field advantage, and the run might just go that much further because of it. But it doesn't seem like that run's going to go very far in this round, because they're walking into a ramp stack, and while they found the trades, the health's just not there. I mean, you've got 14 combined with Leo and Honda, but they've still managed to pull up a man advantage. Now, David's got some pressure on him in Hut, and a kill is needed from him. Not an instant headshot, thankfully, at least in his case, it doesn't come. Still a bit more work to be done that Steel won't let happen.
QZ. Not the right weapon for the low HP on Honda, right? He's going to make his way up the vent here. One in the opposite vent. That's going to be Steel to close right there. The only high HP bar standing for Case, and he will save the day right there. Absolutely massive. Look at this. It breaks the economy of 9Z as well, so a little fight left in him here. Case, do they have 5 T rounds in a row?
I don't know, man. Especially considering how strung apart their success has been this whole game. Maybe they find 1 or 2 here or there. Right, again, we are talking about something that's a weak buy from 9Z. In fact, even a force. So yeah, there's obviously that chance that this just ends up going 15-12, and they start taking a round piece by piece, and all of a sudden you find yourselves in overtime, right? But that just doesn't seem likely, because it feels like even in rounds like this, even in those rounds where 9Z have next to nothing, they always have a chance. Just because of how many times Case have fumbled the bag or 9Z have made a great play, bottom line is, that's the case, right?
Yeah. I mean, there has been 0 easy rounds for Case in this T side. That's just
Like
brutal.
that.
I mean, Max either ready for that boost or just catches the head right there. That's going to be a free opening pick on the heavy hitter of RCF as well. Leo's taken down the low margins here early. He's been chunked off by a HE. So things could go from bad to worse.
And QZ just narrowly avoid death. I think he did. Pretty sure they've already gotten their way into hell. But they're still taking it slow, Case. They know they've got to pull back this man advantage, and thankfully in their case, Max has given it to them. That's the only rifle falling. Now, the only advantage of him taking down somebody outside was the fact that that gun was not recoverable, and now they're starting to bite into the effects of that. Pistols completely isolated from one another. They're going to pull a pin on this execute, and we're probably going to move forward with our lives, them being in an 11th round. But at the same time, David's just put up a case for 3 1Ds, and as soon as I say it, it turns the other direction. The scales tip in 9Z's favor, and it looks like this has got map 3 written all over it.
You've got to be kidding me. What is that finish right there from David? I feel like they've won every single force buy they've gone for. I can't even argue that that was a risk at the end of the day because they win it every time, right? In those situations, I feel like I'm always criticizing teams. They're getting a little too antsy to close things out. They're getting a little too hungry to finish the job. But right there, man, 9Z, I say go for it. Why not? Because every single round they've pulled out of the hat, just insane success with force buys. You got to give them so much credit.
I'm just shocked.